I'm Jenni Carlson here with Barry Tramel. We're at the Thunder practice facility, day before the Thunder and Heat, Barry, and obviously the big news of today, will Russell Westbrook play tomorrow? And the answer is they're not saying. He practiced today, Wednesday, for the first time, Scott Brooks said, but sounds like it's maybe going to be a game-time decision.
Well, 2 months ago we heard until post-All-Star game. Turns out Thunder was pretty close on the timeline. Kevin Durant last week telling some national media he's coming back Thursday. No reason to think Westbrook's not playing. But I do think they'll run him through shoot-around tomorrow and see how he looks and then make the decision.
Well, Kevin Durant was asked about what he said during All-Star weekend, which was that he'll be back for the Heat game. Russell Westbrook will, and asked about that, and he basically said, well, I might have jumped the gun. The timeline always being post-All-Star break. He just assumed Thursday. You buying any of that?
No, I mean, I think there's a general belief that Westbrook's going to play Thursday. I think the Thunder thinks he is. Now, I do think it's possible that he could practice himself out of playing tomorrow night. If he doesn't feel right, if he tweaks something, if he says they'll pull Russell off. It's not a must-win game. So I don't think it's 100%. I think when he is cleared, I think they will say it. But I think it's very likely he will play.
Well, Kevin Durant was asked about those comments saying that Russell Westbrook will play, and he did a pretty good step-back jumper on that. Here's what Kevin Durant had to say.
I jumped the gun on that one. I was a little too excited then, but I don't know. That's up to the medical staff and Russell on how he feels. But it's my fault if I, gave us some information that's not true. A little too excited on that interview.
Did anyone with the organization talk to you about that interview?
Nah. They just, they didn't say anything, but I could tell that. I did something I wasn't supposed to do, but whenever Russ comes back, we'll all be looking forward to it.
What would have made you think that he was ready to go when you said that the other day?
Because they said it right after All-Star break when he got hurt a few months ago, so I just assumed that he was coming back. But that's my fault. I'm sorry for spreading false information.
He did look good. I follow his workouts throughout his process of rehab. He's increased his activity. He's done some things in the last couple of shoot-arounds. This is our first time we really had a practice. So, and just from our schedule, it's been hectic and all the travel. But he looked good. His timing was pretty good. It's always about continue to be in game shape. But all I can say, guys, he looked good today in practice. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. And then we go from there. There's nothing else other than to say that he did look good today in practice. Our group looked good, and that's always a concern when you give a team 4 or 5 days off during a break, is to come back and to have good rhythm. But I thought our rhythm was pretty good, but I'm glad we're not playing tonight.
Thunder Heat 7 p.m. on Thursday night at the Peak, Barry, and this isn't for a championship. Kevin Durant saying this isn't for a playoff spot one way or another. But this is a marquee game, and everybody's going to be watching. Talk about this matchup, and what does this mean for this team?
Well, I think it's just a sense of pride. I think it's a sense of pride for the Heat, which has sort of been shoved aside this year as a team on the decline. LeBron James, I think, feels some of that with all the spotlight on Durant. I think Kevin Durant it's an ego game for him. He wants to prove that he's on the level of LeBron. I think the Thunder wants to prove, hey, the win in Miami was no fluke. So I don't think it really matters. I do think it's a sense of pride for everybody involved. When you're on TNT, when you're playing, two of maybe the two most marquee franchises in the league this year, you want to perform. It's a little bit of the NBA version of Monday Night Football. So I think it's all hands on deck, and I think these teams are going to be fired up for a game unlike most in the regular season.
And I think that was a mental advantage for the Thunder to go down to Miami and win. If they can win again and win easily like they did in Miami, it's a huge mental boost. It's a huge mental disadvantage, I think, for the Heat. We'll see how it goes Thursday night. We'll be there. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.